it all starts in your head. You know, what do you tell yourself in your head? It all starts with how you talk to yourself. You know, everybody has a voice inside. Here's what I do when I have something I know is, let's say I got to form a new habit. You know, for me, training, it's a habit now. For me, getting up and going to training, it's a joke. You know, I love how Charles Duhigg defines a habit, or how he explains it in his book. He wrote a book about habits, and it's quite a long book. It's tedious in my opinion. I prefer the summary. I really recommend the summary because the summary kind of gets right to it. You can get the gist of the book in about 45 minutes, half an hour, depending on which summary you buy. But the summary I found was better than the book. And really what he says is that, look, habits are formed because this is his narrative. This is his theory, okay? He says the brain is kind of creating a loop. You're doing something on a regular basis. It wants you to save energy. You're going to run. It's like, imagine you brush your teeth every day. Okay. Do you debate every day whether you're going to brush your teeth or not? No, you just get up and you brush your teeth. You don't think about it. Why? You've brushed your teeth so many times, it's become a habit. Now, what's this thing called habit? Well, Charles Duhigg says, look, your brain has created this circuit. It wakes up in the morning and says, here, play this program, run this circuit. And this circuit, we've wired your brain so that we know you're doing it every day. But this time when you do it, we're going to do it in a way that saves you energy. We're going to make a more efficient circuit because we know you're playing it all the time. You're constantly brushing your teeth and your mind doesn't know why. Again, this is Charles Duhigg's narrative. Okay. He's trying to explain to you the phenomenon that he's observed. He's trying to say that in his mind, it works like this. The brain creates a circuit. You have a trigger. Then you have, I'm forgetting, but there's three parts to the cycle. You have this cue, you have a trigger, and then your brain goes into this action. Then you have this reward. You have the sensation that you accomplished something. Now, how long does it take to create this loop? Now, there's a variety of opinions on this. Some people say 3 weeks. Some people say 3 months. I think it has a lot to do with the activity. But I like to use the rule of thumb of 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so for instance, let's say I'm trying to create a new habit. I always tell myself, look, I got to tough it out for 3-4 weeks. In 3-4 weeks, this is going to be easier and easier. So I'm very good at self-talk, you know, self-motivating myself. So for instance, let's say, I don't know, whatever it is, you know, like I got to get into a habit of checking on my bank account every week, whatever it is. Okay. I'm the type of guy, I hate to look at my bank account. You know, I hate to look at numbers. I hate numbers. Numbers make me dizzy. Okay. Excuse me. One thing I always disliked in school was numbers. Like I feel like when I stare at numbers for a long time and I have to think about numbers and count numbers in my head, it makes me tired. However, if I run that narrative, if I keep telling myself that, I'll be shy from numbers. I'll get shy from numbers. So I got to give myself a more positive way of looking at it. Just flip it on its head. You know, I like to, you know, when I tell myself when I manage my numbers, I feel at peace. You know, I feel at peace. Things have been paid. I paid everybody I owe. I paid my creditors. And when I look at my numbers, when I follow my numbers, I feel at peace. I make sure that I don't forget to pay this guy or that guy. You know, Tristar it's a big company. We got a lot of creditors. People bring us T-shirts to sell. People bring us bottles of water, food. I got to make sure my creditors are paid on time. And I hate to see somebody cross somebody in the gym and I forgot to pay them. I hate that feeling. You know, so I always like to make sure that everything's paid on time. Rent is paid on time. Electricity and all that stuff. But, you know, of course I have a manager and all that, but I got to oversee it. I got to look at it. I got to count, you know, the inventory. There's a business side that I dislike. I love to train. I like to walk in the gym and just train. However, there's a positive side to it. If I take care of my numbers, I feel at peace. That's it. I just tell myself that, you know, take care of the numbers, you'll feel at peace afterwards. And after doing it 2, 3 months, 4 months, just telling yourself that, at the end of the day, you know, you look forward to doing your numbers because you want that feeling of peace, that rush of peace. So it's really one big part of forming a habit is how you look at it. Just really your attitude. How do you look at it? How do you approach it? And there's a lot of pet peeves of mine, but it just, you overcome them by changing your narrative and just kind of biting the bullet for a short period. However, I find people fail because they think that short period is going to last forever. Like for instance, let's say you want to make training a habit. Well, the first 3 weeks are the toughest, but if you don't know that, you're going to think that, hey, I can't live this cycle. So let's say you're in your second week, you're waking up, you're feeling a bit sore, you're feeling a little bit of low energy because you worked out, your body's in a recovery stage. You're not used to feeling in this recovery stage. So you make the mistake of thinking that this is what training does to the body. and it's going to do this to the body forever. It's not. This is actually a very short phase that you're going to live through to reap all those benefits. But if you know that, you could tell yourself, you know, in 3 or 4 weeks, this is going to become easy. I won't have this soreness. I'm going to feel better and better. The more fit I am, the more energy I have. That's what I tell myself. The fitter I am, the more energy I have. Whereas some people work out and they feel tired the next day and think, oh, training makes you tired. They make this false association. I need a powerful association. I need a strong belief towards these new habits I'm trying to fulfill. I need to remember that this is a short period of time that's going to be painful, but look at all the benefit I'm going to reap afterwards. You know, it's funny because Donald Trump at one time said something in the media. I thought it was crazy. He said, look, you only have a certain amount of energy in the day. So if you exercise, you kind of eat up some of that energy. See, look at that narrative he had. He has his belief, which I totally disagree with, by the way. I think it's very short-sighted. He says, look, you have this much energy in a day, and if you train, you eat up some of that energy, so training eats up my energy. You know, I'm the president. I need to have my energy. He is totally wrong. I'm not saying that you can't train and feel worse the next day. Absolutely. But there's a much smarter way to go about it. Now, listen, I always tell people that training produces energy. The right amount of training creates more energy. So if you're at a level 7 of energy and I give you a 5-10 minute workout, make you do jumping jacks or make you shadow box or whatever, you're going to be at level 8. You're going to be at 8.5. You're going to feel great, you know. Your body's pumping hormones, adrenaline, you know, your body's moving now, you're warmed up, you're feeling great, you're feeling alert, you're feeling better. So I think Trump was being very short-sighted in that comment, and I think it was very discouraging to the nation, you know, the people who were influenced by him, listening to him, thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to adopt this philosophy. It's totally wrong, totally wrong. You will have more energy. The fitter you are, the more energy you have. Fit people have more energy than people who are unfit. There's no question to this. I mean, ask any trainer, any expert in exercise science. They're going to tell you the same thing. It's taking small steps, increments, and getting to that level. The people who fall flat on their face try to do too much too early. That's why I always tell people consistency over intensity. Consistency. Intensity is good once in a while. But the holy grail, that magic sweet spot is how hard you train. People say, how hard should I train? Train only as hard as you can so that it doesn't affect tomorrow's workout. Tomorrow we have to train again. Tomorrow you must train again. Tomorrow I can't break that habit. That habit has to be a daily one.